Yes, I live for the sincerity of applause every week here at More Up North. I'm Shannyn Moore. Welcome to this week's episode. I got to sit down with 3 different people and have some great conversations, and I hope you enjoy it. We'll be right back with More Up North. They sound loud.
That's great.
Hey, welcome back to More Up North. I'm Shannyn Moore, and I'm really glad that Ethan Berkowitz was able to come in and talk to us a bit. Of course, this week, Governor Sean Parnell came out with some veto cuts, which is, really when you get to know your governor, really. And not always in the best way, and see what their priorities really are, because, every time you spend a dollar, that's really what's important to you. So Ethan Berkowitz, Alaska gubernatorial candidate and former State House rep, is here. Thanks for being here.
Hey, it's a pleasure.
So I don't know how you felt when you saw this list, 17 pages of vetoes, including the blood bank, Special Olympics. There's all sorts of things. Oh, the governor's house still has $750,000.
Gotta paint.
Gotta paint, need some new pocket doors. But I think what was really making people's heads explode, aside from all of the jobs that are lost in capital projects right now and all of the renewable energy things, was the Denali Kid Care cut. And I know your head exploded, as did many other people in Alaska. Tell me a little bit about, for people who don't know what Denali Kid Care is, can you explain basically what it does?
Sure. Denali Kid Care is the federal program that allows children to get health insurance, particularly children from underprivileged backgrounds. It is a national program. Alaska lagged behind 46 states in the amount of children that we enrolled based on their percentage of poverty level. It's outrageous. There's 20,000 kids in Alaska who don't have health insurance, don't have access to health care. Those are real kids. I mean, we see them in the schools, we see them in our communities, we know some of them. And so when Sean Parnell said that he wasn't going to expand coverage to include some more of these children, it said a lot about who he really is.
Well, I know that it's not just children getting health care, although that's such a huge part, but it's also pregnant women.
That's right, because pregnant women give birth to children.
Right. And so, well, I hope this isn't shocking to any of you out there in TV land. Go Google the miracle of life. Much of their health, so much of a baby's health has to do with the health of the mother during pregnancy, whether she's getting vitamins, the proper nutrition, education for all
the
things.
Neonatal care is covered by Denali Kid Care. It's a really important program, and we do a lot to contain costs downstream. And I hate looking at health care solely in a cost-benefit analysis, but it is far cheaper to take care of somebody who's during a pregnancy rather than to have a high-risk pregnancy or a child who is requiring special attention afterwards. And so this to me makes no sense at all. You take care of children who are born. You take care of mothers who are expectant, and that's what we do. It's an expression of our humanity.
Well, and how we take care of the least of these is
Yes.
really who we are. Sean Parnell, who is starting to be called Sean Palin, Sarah Parnell, he's starting to get these sort of nicknames because it's a lot more of the same. And one of the things that he said, his reasoning for cutting Denali Kid Care, and this was a bill that came through the legislature.
Passed overwhelmingly.
Yeah, it was, I think, 54 out of 60 Alaskan lawmakers voted for this, to raise the poverty level up to 200% from 175. We're now at number 48 because of the veto today.
Always good to be looking up at Alabama.
Woo! I guess he thinks that looking up at Alabama. Eek. But just because we're the 49th state doesn't mean that we need to shoot for that. when it comes to providing health care. But part of the reason he said was that Denali Kid Care provides abortions. And I looked up all of this, trying to find this today. The best understanding I have is that under the Constitution, if the life of the mother is in danger, then that's provided. And so, but to love the fetus and hate the child. I mean, he wants to save several fetuses, and so that how many children who don't have health care or women who are pregnant, I mean, it's like, what, 1,400 kids now aren't going to be given.
1,300 kids, 225 expectant mothers at the very least. But, you know, either Sean Parnell is incredibly incompetent not to have recognized what the program did, and this is a program he voted for while he was in the legislature.
Right, and this abortion measure in here to save the life of the mother is not new.
No. And I would point out, to the extent that he's concerned about it, he still allows it for the people that are 175% of poverty and below. It's just those group between 175 and 200. So I'm not sure how much courage he has of his convictions at this point.
That's a good point. So why doesn't he just cut it all together then? I mean, if we're...
I don't endorse that.
No, but I'm saying that actually lines up more with his ideology. Mm-hmm. You know, if this program is terrible and he doesn't want, and he cuts it because it's going to provide, then yeah, the courage of his conviction is only about what, half of 25%. Was it 12.5%? And that's kind of sad. So what, I mean, do you know what people can do right now? My understanding is that he still hasn't signed the bill.
Well, we put up a website. It's called Kids Before Mansions. Go to that website, Kids Before Mansions, sign a petition. We're going to start marshaling people against this, and hopefully we're even going to get some rallies going. I want to hand out paintbrushes and paint, so Alaskans say, we'll paint the mansion for you if you restore Denali Kid Care. I think that's a great thing to do. We need to start demonstrating and make sure that people recognize it is absolutely outrageous to put his mansion before the welfare and the well-being of Alaska's children.
Well, you know me from a different part of my life 10 years ago when I was painting houses.
Yes, you were.
I'm still painting houses.
You do a fabulous job. And I don't want to volunteer your services, but I'm sure you would provide it for
I would do it.
Yes.
I would go to
even
Juneau
color coordinated.
And you know, I'm very good with color. So,
I can tell.
So, I mean, and when it comes to paint, I would do it. I just find it so ludicrous. So there were a few other things that were cut. One of them is renewable energy.
You know, yesterday, the day before that he did the vetoes, he went to this big production of signing these renewable energy bills. So all of a sudden he's not funny. You know, with the Kid Care, he has no heart. With the renewable energy, he has no vision, and that's a fundamental problem. If we want to be an independent, self-reliant state, we've got to produce renewable energy, and these are the kind of energy resource development projects that Alaska can do without federal government permission, without waiting for big oil to help us develop gas or oil, whatever it is we're going to do. And to me, it's absolutely inexcusable.
Well, I found it remarkable today reading and going through the list. One of the projects that was cut, there were a lot of renewable energy, hydro projects, wind projects, even
smart grid, even.
Yeah, even a natural gas line that would go from Anchor Point, north of Anchor Point, to Homer to provide there. Something that community, I know, has been waiting for a long time, cut. Paul Seaton has come out and said maybe he didn't understand it. Well, I think he did, but you were just in Kodiak, and I want to ask you about this. And I want to, and if Alaskans don't know this, don't feel bad. You're off the hook. I didn't know about this. It should be on the front page of the ADN. It should be a huge celebration. Kodiak was given a national award for their vision and what they're doing with their wind farm.
With their wind and their hydro, they're going to be 80 to 90% off of diesel as soon as their wind is up and going fully.
In 1 year, they saved 800,000 gallons of diesel.
Right.
And at $4.27 for a gallon of diesel, it's a remarkable savings that they have, about $600 per family there, if you figure 4,000 families. That is remarkable to me. That should be celebrated. Right now, they're listing themselves at 89% renewable energy. Their electricity. I mean, it's fantastic. Why isn't this being celebrated? And what they were going to do to get the extra 11, he vetoed. They've proven to the nation that they can do this.
Yep.
To put in for HEA's project, their wind farm, Nikiski, put all those Agrium people to work. He cut it.
Well, he wasn't there when Agrium went under as it was, and I don't see why he'd be there now. It'd be inconsistent with his performance. I mean, the only job he seems worried about these days is his own.
Well, he you know, someone had to quit for him to get it. What, boo? I'm glad she did. But in looking at this, I mean,